Yeah, it's a long one. It's Aryana Ramkhalawon. Yeah, so my earliest memory would be at a Christmas play at my primary school where I played a troll, and I can't actually remember what the play was about because I don't know why there were trolls in it. I had one line which was about smelling leaves.
Can
No, I think it was and smells divine, something like that. Which again, I've got no idea what play that was from. Yeah, to be honest, I think it was from that moment of getting a little bit of positive reaction from my one-liner that I realised that I liked doing silly things in front of people. And I think it was when I went to secondary school when I sort of really fell into that sort of crowd and fell into being even sillier in front of people. Yeah, well, so at secondary school, which was at King Edward's in Louth, which sometimes spots clever visit, I wanted to audition for the school musical, but I was too nervous one year, so I just didn't go to the audition. And I prepped myself a whole year and used to sing in my room to go to this audition. And it was of sweet charity, and I sang Big Spender. And yes, I was one of Charity's gang. Yeah, I don't even think I thought about it then. It was more just wanting to sort of be on stage, I think. And either were good, but I think the thing that the school did was a musical. But I feel like you get skills from both, like when you do musicals and when you do plays at school, so they kind of give you the same skill set. Do you know what? I think I loved the fact that I wasn't a major part when I started off, and it was about being in a group. So you all sort of had each other's back in that sense that if you forgot a line or did something wrong, someone was by your side. So I kind of think I liked the safety in numbers element. And then getting to perform at Louth Playgoers, which is their theatre there, and every year the schools would come together and they'd do this performance, so you'd get to meet loads of different people as well. I did, yes. But it feels like quite a long time ago now. But yes, I did do GCSE drama and I did do A-level drama as well. And I think it was a lot of I can't quite remember exactly what we were doing in the syllabus, but it was a lot of you sort of making things up and in groups and improvisational bits and stuff like that. Yes, a little bit. I mean, the thing was with my school and what I encourage people to do is if there's any like extracurricular stuff and drama groups and they feel like they're liking it, enjoying it, is definitely join them and do everything that they're offering. Because with me and my school, they had their own theatre company that would take you to the Edinburgh Fringe. And if anyone's been and anyone gets the opportunity, please go, because it's so much fun. And we got to do like a week's performance there on a completely amateur show. And I went for 3 years. I think that sort of gave me a taste for it. And I decided, I'd quite like to do this. So A-level drama was a stepping stone, but definitely isn't necessary. Yeah, I think it's really hard when you have to choose your A-level subjects and then you have to choose, what am I going to do? Because at that age, there's loads of options and you don't actually know what it is that you want to do and how could you really. But I suppose I was thinking, what do I really enjoy? And from this theatre company subgroup from the school, who was leading it, this woman called Carol, was she'd gone to drama school herself, and she was basically letting us know, basically encouraging us to look into that route. So again, with some of the friends from my year, we sort of looked into how you go to drama school and the process. And coming from Lincolnshire, that was you travel to the city that had the school in, either Manchester or London, and you had to do audition speeches and sing a song sometimes and stay over the night sometimes. And it was sort of somebody already knowing that process that sort of helped encourage us down that line. So I went to Guildford School of Acting in Surrey. Great question, Michael. And the reason I chose that place is because I actually only got into 2 drama schools where I auditioned, and one of them was Guildford. So I hadn't actually decided, and I did sing a bit. So I was in the auditions. I quite enjoyed that part of it. So again, I suppose that was maybe that sort of made me think that way.
Yeah, I think when you go through drama school, it's such a bubble, but it's a great bubble because you get to meet, you've got a little family of whoever in your class, and with those people you go through so much because it's 3 years of like intense studies, and then you get to like perform with them. So I think it's a really positive experience, and I think you do come out of it quite willing and positive about the future. So I feel like I really came out of drama school knowing that I definitely was on the right track in my mind at the time. I'd say it's a mixture of how exciting and scary it was at the end of drama school. I think the reason that brought in a bit, it seemed a bit more, it was exciting, but at the same time, studying in Guildford, you still had to move to London, so there was another move on top of that. And from coming from a small town to go to a sort of larger place, to then go to the city of London, where you're sort of negotiating everything there and finding out what it's like to live in a big city. I suppose that was the most intimidating aspect of it. And audition in a big city and realise and negotiate what the industry is like in London. Do you know what? It definitely took a couple of months to settle in and find my way. And when I first moved to London, I didn't have a job, so I had to get a job to pay the rent, which was at Paper Chase, whether you can say that or not. And so I was working there full time for quite a while before I got my first job, which was at Christmas time. So I think getting used to auditioning and working full time was a discipline in itself. So maybe I'd say about 4 or 5 months before I had properly settled in. Honestly, I don't think theatre school prepares you for your professional life, but it prepares you for the skill set. So you come out of training and you have so many different skills like voice and movement, and you're probably the fittest you've ever been at that point in life. And then you get thrown into the real world of, oh, I've got to pay my rent now, and I've got to work 5 days a week, and on top of that keep stuff up. So I feel like it's really easy to let those skills slip, which I definitely did. And negotiating, auditioning on top of working 5 days, and then your employer letting you have time off. I suppose those skills they don't really tell you about. Yeah. Well, my first piece of advice would be get involved with anything that's in your local area. Is it a national youth group? Is it school plays, classes? Anything that you can get involved with and build confidence and learn skills and learn friends, and it gives you a taster into the industry. And if you really feel passionate about it, I would suggest go and look into ways that you can train. So there's Arts Ed have a youth course, and there's the Brit School in London, which is from a younger age. And if you want to do if you do your A-levels and stuff and then want to go into drama school, which is the route that I took, again, I think that's a really great way to get into it and get proper training. For example, with stage, you really need vocal and voice training, which you can't really get anywhere else. And it's really great for just you being in tune with your body and what it does, and be aware of that. But there's also really great ways that you can say, if you wanted to get into television at a young age as well, is to look into agents and class, because that's really where you learn your skills and can get people see you. Yeah. And another thing that you said, Michael, actually, is there's so many different aspects of theatre and television that are not just acting. There's the directing, the costume, the set design, the props. So there's so many different aspects that you might be incredibly passionate and find that you're really great at.